Happy Tuesday. Well, for maybe a lot of other people, not so much. So we'll see what's going on. All right, let's see if y'all can see me and my bad hair. All right. I'll look over here. I can see me. Jacob says 5x5. Finley the dog, Gen X Prepper, a couple of you guys. Let's see if we get Holly H, Trilobe. Okay, we got a bunch of 5x5s. All right. Good deal. Yes, I got to peek around the camera to see the computer so I can set up for what we got to do. So, hopefully, everybody's having a good night. Hopefully, those of you in the northern half of Mississippi or the northern quarter in Alabama are not watching, or if you are in the basement somewhere doing it, because if you guys are watching what's going on, there's big tornadoes. Mississippi's getting blistered with them, and now they're just starting to go into Alabama. The weather pattern is supposed to hit me, or at least close. We're not supposed to have the tornadoes. The band's kind of going like this. It's going to hit Knoxville, and supposedly by the future radar is just going to miss me. So we're already getting some rain, nothing heavy, but we're supposed to have it tonight. So Mrs. Pinball and I are kind of paying attention to the weather and what's going on, which would be another reason, guys, for a generator. Gee, Lucky Dame emailed me a few hours ago and said she's going to be late tonight because she's in Texas, and oh, gee, the power went out. So they're running around trying to get some stuff done. I see somebody said I'm blurry. If that changes anything. It doesn't look like it made it much better. Okay, so my guess is it's wow. That is really pixelated. I'll try this again. See if I can do anything better with it. Okay. All right, that seems to be a little bit better. Okay. That was the other thing. Somebody said it could be the storms. I'm wondering yeah, I'm still seeing pixelation. It could be the internet connectivity because of the storms, guys. So, best we can. But it looks like the picture might be a little better. My camera might have been dirty. I've been outside working on steps all day. So, gotta get these boards made so I can get these stairs so I can get up my front porch. Get that done. As the weather was nice, I figured I'd do it. So, not a whole lot. Yes, I have my microphone on. It's right here. I'm right here. So, yeah, not a whole lot going on today. The one thing I got a kick out of, if you saw and not that I'm a soccer fan, but the U.S. did beat Iran in the World Cup. So they qualify now for the knockout round. But I got a kick out of it because if anybody saw this, apparently U.S. men's soccer had posted something on Twitter or somewhere on the internet, whatever it would be, and had only put the 3 stripes for Iran's flag, did not put the symbol of Allah that's in the middle. And Iran went absolutely nuts. Oh my God, disrespecting our flag, etc. We want the United States kicked out of the World Cup. We want them banned for 10 games from playing in any international competition. They disrespected our flag. And I'm looking at this going, yeah, that might hold a little water if you weren't the same country that's burning our flag every freaking day. So, yeah, pound sand, Iran. Blow it out your posterior. But that was just a pissy thing. So, yeah, not a whole lot. Like I said, I was outside working today and just kind of glanced around to see what was going on. It's between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Usually it's a slower time for political stuff other than the craziness that I talked about today. But, yeah, nothing earth-shattering this afternoon. So, all right. So, with all these storms, it is, of course, very appropriate that we have a dual fuel generator to give away tonight. Again, thank you to Elliot and Wellbots for offering this to everybody. Hopefully, I'm assuming most of you guys saw the video on the review and why you'd want something like this. I mean, again, backups for your backups, different power, different fuel sources, etc. Everything that you can have is going to be important because, remember, if it's cloudy for a week, your solar generators aren't going to do squat. Okay, so, but this is a good way to, if I can recharge my Delta Pro, the big one, the behemoth, on a quarter of a gallon of gas, it was at 8 ounces of gas, and get a full recharge out of it, I'm there. Okay, so that was a good thing. And again, like I said, not for everybody. If you big generators, the ones on wheels, like the gas generator I have, sure, those, it depends on what your needs are. But multiple generators is a good idea. Like everything else, don't count on one because if it breaks, you got none. So, all right. So I'm going to remind everybody about this one. We are on a 90-second slow mode. When I call your name, you have 3 minutes to reply that you are here. That's all I need you to say is that you're here. What I'm asking everybody, as usual, when I go draw the name, please stop making comments in the chat. It's hard enough for me and the mods to see everybody because the chat gets flying. It's hard enough for me and the mods to see everything that's going on, let alone looking for one particular person. You wouldn't want to miss out if you were the winner because everybody else is running their mouth. Please don't do it to whoever else is. Okay, so when I flip the screen over, please cease and desist on all chats. It's too late to enter. Okay, I've already pulled everything up in the computer. You had to be on the other video the other day, so don't try entering here. You can't, whatever it would be. So, all right. So let's flip this over and let's find us a generator winner and get the screen to the right size. We'll move it over a little here. There we go. Well, kind of. All right. So here we go on the right-hand side right here where my mouse is. That is the link to the video I posted yesterday morning with the review. We are going to take out all duplicate users as everybody gets one entry. And I have to do my normal math here. So let's see how many entries we have. I'll scroll up so you guys can see that part. 1,011, 12, 13. All right, guys, at this point, please stop making comments. Because remember, if you make a comment now and I draw your name, you got to wait 90 seconds before you can say you're here. So please hold off. 2,932 entries. All right, we will scroll up here. And here we go, guys. We will see who's the winner for the EcoFlow Smart Generator. Got to have the, what did I say? It was the state in which you live in and 3 of Santa's reindeer's names in your comments. That is what will be a valid entry. So if it's got that, we're good. If it doesn't, we'll pick somebody else. And the winner is Vivian Stratinick. Thank you, Pinball and Elliot, for your generosity to the community. I sure could use this here in Pennsylvania and look forward to Dasher, Dancer, and Vixen bringing it this way. All right, Vivian Stratinick, are you here? I know that's hard to read, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Let's flip this over. All right. Vivian, there you go. Vivian is here, Vivian Stratinick. All right, congratulations, Vivian. You are the new owner of a EcoFlow Smart Generator. Please email me your name, physical mailing address, because it will come FedEx, and your phone number. I will get that to Elliot tomorrow morning, and you could probably expect to see this on your doorstep maybe Saturday, Sunday, Monday, somewhere thereabouts. So congratulations on that. And that was a quick one tonight. What do you know? All right, we will move the computer, rearrange myself a little bit here so I can see what's going on and get that. Wow, that is a crappy picture. Way to go, YouTube. So, or internet. Okay, so I hope you guys can hear me clear enough. Obviously, Vivian could. But I mean, obviously seeing me is a little, yeah, but ain't that much to look at anyway. So hopefully most of you are listening. All right, so we will get into the normal Q&A that is our Tuesday night. So I wanted to say welcome to everybody. Welcome to the new people to the channel. Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate the audio was clear. I appreciate you telling me that. Let everybody know who's new here. What we do on Tuesday nights and Saturday nights, this is your chance to have the floor. Okay. The rest of the week, you hear what I want to talk about. This is the chance for you guys to give me the subject. Say, hey, what about gardening? What about politics? What about moon landings or rock and roll or movies or whatever? Pretty much no subject is off limits. We've talked about everything. If you've got a question, ask. I mean, trust me, there's plenty of questions that have been asked 20 times on the live streams over and over and over again. In case anybody noticed, you guys catch this one? This is the 100th Tuesday night live stream on this channel, not counting the backup channel. On this channel, this is number 100. So it's been a while. We've been doing this for more than 2 years, live streams, but 100. It's kind of cool. So there we go. The one thing I do ask of everybody, guys, in the chats, in your comments, whatever, as you're talking to each other, which I totally encourage, please keep it civil. Okay. Disagreement is fine. Calling somebody an idiot or doing something like that will get you the boot so fast it won't be funny. All right. I don't mind. Difference of opinion is fine. We all have them. Not everybody agrees with me. I don't expect you to. Okay. But to be rude, that's not acceptable around here. And the mods will toss you in a New York minute. So if you have questions for me, please put them in all caps. Like every other YouTube channel, you can see there's 1,700 of you in here. As we've already had 300 people drop out because they didn't win, which you know how those are. Those are the people that they could care less about prepping. They're just trying to see if they can get something for free. So hopefully our winners are regulars. But yeah, so if you got questions for me, please put them in all caps, but feel free to have conversations in there. And when you ask a question, guys, watch the chat too, because a lot of times the people, I can't get to every question. I try as best I can, but there's way too many of you guys compared to me. And a lot of times you'll get your answer from somebody else in the group, because between all of us, we probably got 99.99% of the answers that people are looking for. So there we go. When's the world going to end? Nobody's got that one. Everything else we pretty much got covered. So, all right. So let's get into Q&A. Let me get up to the top here, and we will start and work our way down. So, Dick Fleisner, how is the new growing area coming along in the garage? Well, I haven't got into working on that, but I've changed my plan on what I'm going to do. And I haven't shown you guys what I did, but I built a table in the middle on casters so I can roll it around. That's 4 feet by 12 feet. And instead of hanging my lights from the ceiling, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang them from the underside of the tabletop to shine down on the shelf below, and I can use all that area for my plants. And that way I don't have, it's a lot easier to put plastic around, greenhouse effect, et cetera, and I still leave all my table space for working, because God knows I needed it today, cutting steps like crazy. But I haven't started doing that. That'll be one of the next projects over the winter. I got to get these steps done before winter starts. So, you know, as long as we got nice days, I'm still trying to do stuff I can outside. Peggy Sue says the picture's fuzzy. We checked. It's not my camera. It's probably because of all these storms and the internet, or, you know, YouTube's probably trying to fix something again for all I know. But I don't know why. I can try one thing. Let me try to switch Hang on, I hope I don't lose you guys. Let me try to switch from my Wi-Fi to 4. Yeah. Okay, that might, well, maybe. All right, so I switched from my Wi-Fi to my 4G, and that seems to be, looks like a clearer screen. So let's hope that works. All right. Yeah, it seems to be a lot better. All depends. Who knows? I, you never know what's going on. All right, my computer got all different here. All right. But yeah, okay. So we got a good clean picture now. All right, good. PK, how many jobs have you had, and which was my favorite? Oh my God. Let's see. If I go through not including fast food and stuff like that, you worked in high school. All right. So professional jobs. I worked for repoing cars in Chicago, the Illinois Department of Employment Securities. Then I was at Payne Weber and then Smith Barney. So that was my brokerage years. And then I went to recruiting. So professional career, I worked for 6 different companies in 5 different capacities, I guess. Not including the military. But my favorite job by far was as a recruiter. It's why I did that one for 18 years. Because, gee, go figure. I enjoyed helping people. Would never figure that one out for me, right? So, okay. Let's see. Veronica Walker, is it okay to leave growth in the garden over the winter? Haven't had a chance to clear it. Yeah, it's not gonna bother you. The only thing that you worry about is keeping any disease in there. And pests will still have your insects will have a place to have a winter home, if you will. Uh, you're gonna have to clean it out in the spring, but think of what a farmer does. A farmer just chops down everything and leaves it all in the field and then tills it all in the spring. So bigger capacity for a farm. But yet, I mean, it's okay to do it. It's not the preferred way to do it in a garden, but it's fine to do it. You might cause yourself a teeny tiny little bit of problem, maybe. Okay. Barbara B in Florida, did I get my truck fixed? Okay, so here's the deal. So I went out this morning and it didn't start, it didn't turn over, it didn't do anything. And Mrs. P and I were talking about it last night. My check engine light's been on for a year. I know what it is. It's my exhaust manifold sensor is done. The actuator to switch the fan between defrost and your dashboard vent and the floor has been ticking. It's not working. The only place the stuff blows is right out of the dash. I can't get it down the windshield and I can't get it on the floor. And we finally just looked at each other and said, screw it, just take it into the shop and have them fix everything and we'll go from there. So that's what we did. So they said it'll be a couple of days till they can get to it, but okay, it's not like I got to go anywhere. So we're all right there. So I had it towed in there this morning, and hopefully I'll get my truck back sometime next week, and that'll be that. So no, it isn't fixed, and no, I don't even know if it was a starter, a solenoid, a fuse, or whatever. I'm hoping it's just a fuse. I'm hoping it's cheap on some of this stuff, but we'll see what happens. If they tell me, oh yeah, it's gonna be $2,000, to be like, yeah, we'll put it off till later. So, but got to get it running at least. Huts John, not to throw water on his party, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's on Channel 8 right now. Well, okay. Rudolph, I think that's actually older than I am, too. Tracy Bunny 38, how long is water good to drink if it is filled in storage containers from the tap? You should be rotating it at least once a year, okay? Because even with, the good plastic containers and stuff like that, you could get some leaching or whatever. And, believe it or not, water does go stale. You guys have all drank. I can say this from like an Army canteen, okay? For those of you guys who are military, you know what I'm talking about, the plastic canteens. you put water in the morning, and by lunch it tasted like plastic. Okay, and it, water can go stale. So, rotate your water once a year, use it for a load of dishes, pour it down the toilet, whatever it is. But, just like everything else in your preps, you should be rotating your water. Prepared Jared, do I have a basement at my place? No, I do not. We are built on a crawl space, so I've got probably 3 feet, maybe 4 feet. I mean, when they build houses in Tennessee, they build them on cinder blocks. Okay, so you get 4, maybe 5 cinder blocks high, and then that's the base, and then they'll build on top of that. For the most, I mean, there's houses here that have basements. Just mine does not. It's just on a crawl space. Dimbula Blade Works, good day from the Outback. Well, good morning, I believe. I don't know what time it is over there. Storm Chasing Gal, Pinball, thoughts on the rail strike? Well, I saw this today that the unions are pissed because Pelosi and Schumer are saying that Congress is going to step in and they're going to write a contract and everything like that. Now, mind you, the unions usually support the Democrats, and now the unions are saying the Democrats are the ones that are going to completely take their bargaining power off the table, which is probably what the railroad companies are hoping for, is that Congress forces them back to work. Okay. What's going to be interesting, and I still look at it this way. Congress can, this is what everybody has to understand in this world. Congress is not God. Okay. The president is not God. Congress doesn't say, you're going to do this, and the people go, oh, okay, I'll do it. Nancy Pelosi could tell me to jump off the top of my house, and I'd be like, right here, okay? No, but I'm the Speaker of the House. I don't care who you are, okay? You're not telling me what to do. And I'm hoping the same thing happens with railroad workers, is Congress says, you're going back to work. And railroad workers go, no, we aren't. Replace us. Because then they go, oh, but we can't. Bingo, okay? It, just like I said in the afternoon video, the government has no place in business. Okay, the government can screw up a wet dream. Okay, they can't run a business. I mean, look at the post office. FedEx makes a profit. UPS makes a profit. The Postal Service loses money every year. Okay, and they do the same thing. Okay, but for some reason, the government can't make anything work. They're going to monitor Twitter. Oh, right, because that's what we need. We need the government involved in social media. The government's going to negotiate the contract or determine what the contract is for the railroad workers. Oh, that'll work because that'll screw everything up too. Okay, what was it, Reagan's comment? I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Okay, you remember that one? You want something messed up? Let the government get involved. Okay, or let HR get involved. One of the two. I don't know which is more incompetent, HR or government. They're pretty damn close. Ever. Have I read 1 Second After? I've talked about that book, I don't know 40 times on this channel? Yeah, I've read all 3 of them. So, RK Naker, your thoughts on self-defense insurance? If you're talking about like USCCA or CCW Safe, I have CCW Safe. That's what I use. It's like $100 a year or whatever. It covers everybody in the household. Yeah, I have it. Okay, because if something ever happens and you see all these stupidity, I broke into this guy's house and he shot me. I'm suing him. And the court goes, okay, yeah, he should pay your medical bills. He injured you. Huh? Yeah, no. I don't, if something ever happens where I ever had to use any weapon in self-defense, and there's a body laying in my house or on an ambulance or whatever, and the cops say, Mr. Pinball, we need to take you in. My answer is going to be, here's this card, call my attorney. Until then, I ain't saying squat. And I already know there is going to be one there for me that is already paid for. I don't have to go, oh crap, honey, take a mortgage out on the house. We got to pay for an attorney. Nope, taken care of. $100 well spent. You know. Laura's story, did I work summers in high school? And if so, what did I do? Summers. I delivered newspapers from age 11 to age 17. That wasn't summers. That was every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, rain, sleet, or snow. I was out on my bicycle pedaling around multiple neighborhoods because I probably, until I wound up getting a car and then got a motor route, I was delivering something like 140 papers a day. You know, on Sunday mornings, it would take me 4 hours to deliver my papers. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was home by 9 o'clock with all my papers delivered. Yeah, I worked summers. I worked everything, summers, winters, falls, springs, every day. There is no day off. If there's a newspaper printed, I had to deliver it. And it was the Detroit News, which no longer exists. I had nothing to do with that part. Dog mom, do I do anything special to protect your dogs from tornadoes when they are in the area? Fortunately, because we live surrounded by mountains, the tornadoes break up when they'll hit the mountains or stuff like that, or that's the theory. I don't know if there's ever been a tornado in Sharps Chapel. I know there's been one in Maynardville about 20 years ago, which is a half an hour away from me. But with the dogs and me and Mrs. P, it'll be all of us in the downstairs bathroom, which is in the center of the house, because that's where you're supposed to go. We've talked about before getting one of these tornado shelters and putting it in the backyard, because it could be used for some prepping things too, if you will, i.e. nuclear blast, but, not talking about one of these $100,000 things, talking about one of these ones that's, the two of you were sitting there waiting for it to happen. You couldn't live in it. So, have a tornado shelter that's worth more than a house. No, that's not a good idea. Al, I can't ever grow zucchini. Any tips? Mine always die. Okay, it's got to be, there's one of two things. You're either planting it at the wrong time or you got crap soil, because, zucchini is one of the most prolific plants you can get. It's about the easiest thing to possibly grow. I've got to think there's something in your soil, that there's a problem with your soil. Yeah, I can't. Like, either you're not watering it, you're not fertilizing it, your soil sucks, or you're planting it at the wrong time. One of those is absolutely true, and I got to think you're fertilizing it and watering it. So my bet would probably, it's a plant in the spring and go. My guess is you need better soil. Answer that. D-Freak01, does bleeding orange indicate alien life? If you're bleeding orange, you better get to the hospital, dude. All right. Fortitudine Farm, can Jerusalem artichokes be planted now and mulched good, or wait till spring? I've never planted Jerusalem artichokes. I plant potatoes, and so I've never grown Jerusalem artichokes, so that's not going to be a question I can answer for you. Lori Hyman, do I have any tattoos? Yes, I have one on each arm, both from the Army. One is a panther, which was our company symbol, intelligence, go figure, and the other one is a eagle. So, and no, I'm not taking off my shirt to show you. Maybe in the summer when I get a short sleeve shirt on, I will. RK, I'd imagine you're a Meatloaf fan. Well, if you're talking about the meal, yes. If you're talking about the singer, yes. It's interesting you bring something like that up tonight, but yeah, I don't know how you came up with that. I mean, talk about an off the wall comment, but yeah, you're right. Uh, Definitely P. What do I use to keep up your immune system prepping? Mrs. P is really good about making sure I take my vitamins. First off, her cooking includes a boatload of vegetables, so that helps. And then she is good about making sure that I get my multivitamin and I get my vitamin E and my zinc and everything like that every day. So she's always, here's your vitamins, take your vitamins. So what do I do? What do I use? I use my wife. Works pretty good, but no, you can't have her. Reverse Snowbird. What do I want for Christmas this year? World peace. Joe Biden out of the White House. Uh, I'm, the most important thing I want for Christmas, I want to see my daughter. I mean, that's it. She'll be here a couple of days after New Year's. She spends the Christmas proper with her mother and her mother's family there in town. So, which is fine. I understand it's a big family and they have a lot of fun. Here it's just the three of us. So, but yeah, that what I want for Christmas. This is to spend time with Mrs. P and my daughter. That's what makes my Christmas fun. When we do our normal things together, sitting at the kitchen table, laughing, making pelmeni, or playing Rummy Cube or something like that. That's what I want. So, Daniel Pounders, did I hear about Joe's vehicles catching fire? Yeah, they had rented a bunch of, was it Martha's Vineyard? Is that where they were? I forget exactly where they were, but the Secret Service rented 5 vehicles from Hertz and they all caught fire. And the very first thing I thought was, what evidence are they trying to destroy? That's the only thing I can think of. 5 vehicles that just got rented by the Secret Service don't spontaneously combust. So what happened? Maybe we'll know, maybe we won't. But if I had to put money on it, it would be destruction of evidence somewhere, either Biden's evidence or the Secret Service was up to their latest shenanigans, and maybe there were some stains in the back seat they wanted to get rid of. I don't know. Let's see. Reb G, what's the first Christmas movie you and Mrs. P watched to start the season? Well, we haven't had TV in a year, so I don't know if there really isn't one that we watch. I certainly never was into those Lifetime movies or anything like that. I mean, somebody asked me when we did the Christmas Carol one or the something. Somebody asked me if Die Hard counted as a Christmas movie, and I was like, yes. That would be about the best Christmas movie I could think. I've seen, Miracle on 34th Street and everything like that so many times. It's like every year. Please do not ever try to show me a Christmas Story, okay? Ralphie and everything. My opinion, that is the worst movie ever made, okay? It is followed very closely by Home Alone, all right? So both of those movies are atrocious. I couldn't stand either one of them. I do not want to see them. They are not enjoyable to me at all. But then again, remember, this is the guy that didn't like Seinfeld or Friends either. So I'm definitely an outcast in society. Crazy family thing. Mr. Pinball, I noticed no pull cords on generators. The dual fuel one does have a pull cord. Okay, you can pull it manually, like I said in the video. You can start it like a lawnmower with the pull cord. It's got an electric start, or it's also got an electric start if you care to hook it up via Wi-Fi over your phone. The solar generators, no, you don't need those. You turn them on and that's it. So there's no engine in the solar generators like there is in the dual fuel. You don't have to, when you to start a motor, you need to turn it. So that's what the pull cord is. A solar generator is not a motor. J.S. Thomas, should Congress be involved in the railroad strike? We already talked about that. Truck fixed. Gen X Prepper, am I going to read all of the Twitter policy censorship when Elon Musk posted on there? No, I could care less what Elon Musk does with Twitter. Do I have a Twitter account? Yes, I do. The only reason I have it is so that when there is some story or some video, a lot of times I'll read a news story. You know how lazy the journalists are these days. Their idea of a story is this person tweeted this, and this person tweeted this, and this person tweeted this, and I'll put it all on one page, and there's my story for the day. You wrote 2 lines. It's like, read the people what they said about this. Congratulations, that journalism degree is really paying off. But the only reason I have the Twitter account is so when there's like the video today that I showed you of the press secretary, that was off of Twitter. I need to get onto Twitter so I can get that, so I can download that video so I can put it into this video. So yeah, I'm not an active participant on Twitter. I really could care less about Twitter. Freedom Firefighter, thank you for the super chat. I love Robin Williams. She is in the chat. There you go. Donna Charge. Okay. I'll hit. Well, wait a minute. There's a couple ahead of this here. Shut down. And keep it safe. Do I think the gas prices will go up after Republicans take office January 1st? No, actually, we're seeing exactly the opposite. I was in town today, dropping off my truck, and what did I see? The gas prices for no lead were $2.99. First time we've seen under $3 in God knows how long. The reason gas prices are coming down is because the GOP took Congress. You will see gas prices continue to come down, not go up, because of the Republicans taking office, in my opinion. JC Peanut, how tall are you? That was a big question yesterday on the donation video. 6'8". Donna Charge, you hear Uncle Ted talking about Tractor Supply sponsoring a stripper story time. Okay. I saw this story, and everybody and their mother, and this is, somebody emailed me today, and I told them this too. This is the kind of story that pisses me off, especially about YouTubers, because they jump to conclusions right away. They don't have all the answers, and it's, oh my God, it's an outrage. Look, get the facts. Okay. First off, no, Tractor Supply did not sponsor at all this drag queen show, whatever it would be. Somebody took a video who was at this drag show, and there was a Tractor Supply banner somewhere in the background. Okay. As soon as the Waco, Texas Tractor Supply heard that their banner was in display at this, they went and had it taken down immediately. Tractor Supply did not sponsor this. They had nothing to do with this, not corporate, not the local store, not nothing. There were countless YouTube channels and people emailing me about it today saying, boycott Tractor Supply, they're sponsored. No, they didn't get the facts. This is the crap that drives me nuts, is clickbait. Ooh, look at this. This is clickbait, and we get out there. I ignored it because it's a nothing story. It was a mistake that an accident, that coincidence, I don't know what you want to call it, that banner happened to be there when somebody was filming. Okay, big deal. Tractor Supply had nothing to do with it. But the people that jumped on the bandwagon and said, yeah, we've got to get out of here. Yeah, well, we can get out of here, all right. See ya. Unsubscribe. Obviously you don't take the time to research your story. Patera said something real good. If you saw that, call Tractor Supply. Did you sponsor this? Nope. Call the Waco store. Do you have anything to do with this? Nope. Okay. No story. Okie Forge, are railroad ties good for a raised bed garden, or will the creosote kill my plants? The creosote won't kill your plants. I have railroad ties around flower garden. Do not use creosote around, or do not use railroad ties around a vegetable garden. The creosote will soak into the soil, and then you are going to be eating that stuff. Flower bed, no big deal. Okay, but as for vegetable gardens, ain't no way in hell you want to use railroad ties. And there's some people say yes and no on treated wood to uh, use that around beds. The old school treated wood, when they were using, I forget what the chemical was, I want to say arsenic, what they were, what they treated it with, that was, you didn't want to use it. The new school stuff, apparently, and again, depends on how much you want to trust what people say, apparently is okay. But, you know, that's why I had all mine with treated wood, and as soon as I could, I converted it to bricks. Sheila, what are my thoughts on and I can't pronounce it either, Balenciaga or whatever it is, crap, always respect your I mean, I've seen the headlines, apparently they were using kids in some sort of ad that was promoting BDSM or something like that. It doesn't affect me. It has nothing to do with prepping. I really didn't dig into it at all. I didn't care. Hollywood doesn't see a problem with it. Well, Hollywood's full of a bunch of idiots. I don't. I got better things to do. Trim my nails or something like that than worry about that. So, Hound of Goshen. What engine do I have in my F-150? How do I like it? It's got what is, I think, 4.6 or 4.7 V8, and it serves its purpose for what I do. I mean, it will tow a trailer full of, and a bed full of a couple of 1,000 pounds of food, no problem. I've had full of mulch, full of soil, everything. I mean, it works fine. I'm not towing horses or, any, I don't need a dually, for what I need, it does fine. It does well. So, and the transmission hasn't fallen out of it. That's why I don't own any more Dodges. Mary Mark's been writing down your recipes. Can't wait to try them. Well, most of them are Mrs. P's recipes. There's a couple in there that are mine, but most of them are hers. Kay, I watched Danny and Wanda. Danny talks about high tunnels. I'm thinking about one. Thoughts about this wave of the future? I think they're great. I watched Danny and Wanda too, don't get me wrong. And I think they're great, and what they get done in there is absolutely fabulous. Until you look at what it costs, and you're talking about one of those high tunnels that Danny and Wanda has is about 15 grand before all the lumber and everything that Danny puts into it. So, you figure he's probably got $20,000 in each one of those before the first before the dirt goes in, let alone the first plant. Okay. Do they get a fabulous return out of it? Growing, what was he just picking? Well, the oranges were outside and stuff like that, but he's still, growing stuff in there now, tomatoes or whatever it is, in the middle of November. Absolutely fabulous. Great. He's also in southern Mississippi, where it doesn't get as cold as it does everywhere else. I mean, if you have a high tunnel like that in Michigan, plan on getting a full-size greenhouse heater too. Okay. I've looked online. There are plenty of videos that you can build your own out of 2x6s and literally PVC pipe that would do the same thing for a lot less money. Okay, so if I'm going to take the bare necessities from that they're going to give me, and then I'm going to modify it like Danny did, make it work like his does, which, don't get me wrong, is absolutely incredible. I love watching how Danny builds things. I can find a way to do it a lot cheaper, because 15, 20 grand ain't in my budget at all, anywhere. That's it. I just talked about the Tractor Supply. J. Thomas Reset. Does Mrs. P like the Frosty Freeze cheeseburgers better than Hardee's? I don't think she's ever had a Frosty Freeze cheeseburger, and neither one of us like Hardee's. So I think, pretty much anything in the way of hamburgers is better than Hardee's. Rocks 600-601. Where do I get Jerusalem artichokes? I mentioned before I don't grow them, so I don't know. Railroad strike, we talked to that. Oh shit, I forgot. It's 8:45. We have a little question to give away, to a little trivia question, don't we? I got into normal and forgot about everything here. Let's stop for a second, if you guys don't mind, and we will do tonight's trivia question. Let me get all the way to the bottom so I can see what's going on. I'm going to lose a bunch of questions. Okay. All right, so I'm going to say this again, guys. Everybody stop making comments here, because when I asked, remember we're on a 90-second delay. So when I asked the question, if you just made a comment like No Whining did, you can't say anything for 90 seconds again. If I ask the question right now, you got to wait 80 seconds till you can answer, and I'm probably betting somebody's going to have it beforehand. So if you guys know how this one works, this is me and Mrs. P giving back to you guys. This is where all your super chat money goes for the year. Okay. And so we're doing trivia questions on how well you know me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question that I have mentioned in a video sometime relatively recently. The first person to get the answer right gets to pick one of these envelopes. There are 6 left. There are 6 prizes in here that me and Mrs. P got so far. And then there's 3 that were from one of y'all that sent me to use as prizes, and then Mrs. P and I added some stuff to it and everything like that. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question. The first person to get it right, and now mind you, I can't say that everybody's screen looks the same on the order of which it comes through. I'm the only judge. The moderators don't know the questions, nothing of the sort. I'm the only one. Whichever one shows up first on my screen is the winner. Okay. The answer has to be correct. If spelling's a little bit off, I'll give you that. Okay. If you can't say Jones and say, but I meant Smith. No, that ain't gonna do it. So, but then whoever gets it gets to pick an envelope, and that will be their prize. So tonight's question, and everybody stopped. I like that. Okay. What is my favorite American band? I've mentioned this in a video. What is my favorite? AC/DC is Australian, guys. There it is. Sir New Mexico preps a lot. Aerosmith. Yep. Got it. Okay. Sir New Mexico preps a lot. You get to pick an envelope. You have number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, number 7, or number 9. Guys, we already have a winner. So Sir New Mexico preps a lot did have it. All right. He's got a few minutes, or about a minute to wait. Sir New Mexico preps a lot. Give me a envelope number, please. Ozzy is not American either. So Aerosmith in 1970s. I've had tickets to see Aerosmith 4 times. I've had to miss every show. Drives me nuts. Sir New Mexico preps a lot. We need a envelope number. One. Sir New Mexico preps a lot has picked numero uno. So So here we will open the envelope in front of camera so you guys know there's no funny business. And Sir New Mexico preps out another one of the survival kits. So that is 2 of them. Okay. Sir, what I need you to do is email me your address and I will get this put together in the morning. And if UPS shows up tomorrow, or I will send it within tomorrow. If not, I know he's going to be here on Thursday, so we'll get it out then. But congratulations, sir. You won the survival kit. There's a bunch of fun stuff in there. I will send that out to you. Okay, now, of course, I'm not going to be able to get, and yep, let's see. I can get 1 question, maybe 2 here, so let's see. Stephen Story says, do I think it's time to take our country back? You think? Do you listen to any of my videos? It's like, what do we do? I mean, I basically used every word possible except the word overthrow. But yeah, it's time for the patriotic Americans to get rid of the communists out of this country. Okay, I mean, this McCarthyism is nothing. You know, if McCarthy was alive now, Joseph McCarthy was alive now, he'd be like, guys, they're openly telling you they're communists. Okay, you know. Hold my beer, Leinenkugels, am I right? Well, no, this is my good old Bush NA, but yes, like I told you guys, getting Liney's down here is impossible. Okay. Somebody sent me some, which was really cool, but that wasn't cheap. Okay, so now hopefully people are going to have to ask questions again because, whoops, there we go. So let's get into where we are. Healthy disrespect for authority. Have I ever wanted to be a game show host? No. Not by a long shot. Southern Girl. Sadly, my feed is about 30 seconds behind the question. How do I take slow mode off? You can't. I put slow mode on and it affects everybody. Unfortunately, I can't control your internet speed. You know, if somebody else is faster, somebody else is slower, I have no control over that. I apologize. I didn't realize it was going to be a problem, but everybody says it's, you know, too slow. We're hearing answers before we know what the question is. And once I finish doing this, I won't be doing this again because too many people are bitching about it. So, Charlie Knoll, what is my shoe size? 13. Okie Forge, have I read The Next Civil War by Stephen March? No, I have not. Missy B, what do I think the new year will bring? Tune in on New Year's Day, and I will tell you. That's right. New Year's Eve is when I go over last year's predictions, and New Year's Day is when I make my future predictions. So, done that since I started the channel. Linda Kruger, will I ever run for office? I want to. Mrs. P doesn't necessarily want me to, and I asked you guys, and a lot of you guys told me I do more good work here than I would in Congress, which I think is true too, okay? Because, you know, new congressmen, you know, nobody gives a squat what they have to say, and so, you know, you're just there to go, yes, no, okay, yes, Mitch, whatever you want, you know. No, I mean, I'd be a thorn in everybody's side. Plus, the congressman we just got elected, because I'm now in a different district, I actually like this guy. The guy I wanted to run against, Chuck Fleischman, I've now been redistricted out of his district. He's a rhino, useless, but, you know, 16 years and 12 years in Congress or whatever it is. I don't think he's put a bill up that's passed yet. Jay Myers, are we getting any rain tonight in our area? It was lightly raining here before. It's supposed to start a little heavier around 10 o'clock, and then we're supposed to get thunderstorms overnight at about an eighth of an inch of rain an hour, which we get an eighth of an inch of rain an hour. That will max out my pipe to fill my pond. So I'm hoping to get a couple of feet of water in the pond today. We'll see what happens. Sajak, did I know the author of 1 Second After has a new sequel coming out in 2023 to the series? That's going to be interesting because the way that 1 year after ended, or what was it? No, 1 year after was the second book. What was it? The final day, or I forget what the last one was called. Is everything ended and they overthrew the government and his buddy became president, and that was it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know where else you're going to go with it. This is how we rebuilt the country, maybe, but that would be it. I mean, he pretty much ended the story. Glenwad, thoughts on the Chinese riots? Good for the Chinese. It's about time you stop, putting up with all this. I mean, just, yeah, stop, lock me in my house, lock me in my house. I mean, if you saw Fauci today, Fauci's like, yeah, well, I really don't know what to say. I kind of agree with the Chinese lockdowns. Like, dude, if I could reach that low, I'd punch you in the nose. Where would Amish at heart, good show. Have to go eat my birthday cake. Happy birthday. Let's see. Cerise, I don't know. Favorite meat to can. Pork, the flavor changes in it. Pork gets a very smoky taste to it when you can it. Chicken cans up really well. Ground beef, actually, in my opinion, tastes better after it's been canned than it does when it's fresh. Just saying. Gail Watkins, can I direct sow lettuce in Southeast Virginia? Absolutely. Just make sure you've got decent soil for it. Lettuce isn't a fan of clay, or you want more of a sandy soil for lettuce. Lurch, did you play basketball? No, I cannot stand the game. I don't watch it. I do not care for it. I have never seen an NBA game. I've never seen a college game in person. I mean, don't care for basketball at all. Want nothing. If basketball was never played again, I wouldn't lose a second's sleep. Beverly Scruggs, are you giving away that second generator? I gave away the one generator that we planned on giving away today. I don't know what second generator you're talking about. There wasn't a second generator. A couple of people said, what's the beeps? I don't know what beeps you're talking about. NC Prepper 1976. What's one skill that you want to develop? Somebody actually asked me about this today, and it's something that I got to get going. Is I've got to learn how to use ham radio, and I've got to get my ham radio license. So that's one. I mean, I've got two ways. I've got CB. Anything like that. My comms for short distance are all fine. I do not have GMRS or ham radio knowledge or experience, and so that's something that I definitely need to learn how to use. Morse code, whatever it would be. That's probably the most important skill I think that I lack. Pinball and mods, you cannot please them all. Great job, mods. Correct. Pinball for president, as long as we get our daily videos. Oh God. Mikhail, have I ever considered narrating books for Audible? This will be the last one because it's 8:59. No, I never have, but I'll give you a story one time. This was back when I was in New Hampshire. I called up a potential candidate for a job, said, hi, I saw your resume, yada, 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 yada. Wondered if you're looking for a job, this is what I have. The normal cold call speech after finding somebody's resume on Monster or wherever. Lady calls me back. She goes, I just had to call you back. She goes, I'm not looking for a job. She goes, but I just wanted to hear your voice. Great. But I have been told so many times I have a voice for radio. It's ridiculous. So no, that doesn't surprise me you asked that question, but no, I've never given it any thought. So, all right, guys, 'tis 9 o'clock. Thank you all for showing up. I don't know if Jason's coming on tonight, Angry Prepper, but he usually does 9 o'clock on Tuesday, so I don't want to bite into his time. Have a good evening. We'll see you in the morning. Pinball out.